jumped into the portal, I grabbed the rest of my costume and started to put it on. I finished putting it on and I was still falling. I checked everything was still in my backpack and jacket in case I needed to survive. It was, and I secured it to myself. Soon enough, I dropped onto the ground. I had not mastered the superhero landing yet, so I collapsed hard. When I got up, I saw the ground had an indentation in it. I looked around, and I recognized where I was. My jaw dropped. It was Equestria. I looked around and saw that some trees behind me were completely torn to shreds. I figured that someone would be coming soon, so I decided not to stick around. I grabbed a small electricity generator out of my bag and turned it on, and then absorbed some power from it until I was fully charged. I put the generator back and I jumped as high as I could. I saw Ponyville was to the north of me. I landed and started to walk towards it. After half an hour I came to the clearing and saw that I was near the library. I decided that I landed in the time before Twilight got her wings. I went to the library and saw that almost all the windows and doors were closed. I saw someone slam a door when they saw me. I sighed and thought they were scared of me. I knocked in the library and yelled, "Twilight, are you in here? Spike? Anybody?" I stayed there for a few minutes before I turned around. I was walking away when I heard the door open. "How do you know my name?" asked Twilight. I turned around and said to her, It's a long story that I really don't have time to say. You think you can make a portal to Earth?" She looked at me suspiciously. "What species are you?" I sighed in exasperation. "I'm human." "You don't look like any human I've ever seen." "Oh, this outfit I'm wearing helps keep my powers in check." "Powers? Like magic?" she asked. "Actually, no. My powers involve science instead of magic. It's a long story that I don't want to explain." "Show me," she asked, half-asked, half-told. I sighed and put my hands together, and in them a sphere that grew steadily larger. I raised it above my head and slammed it into the earth. It radiated electricity that branched out to all the houses. It short-circuited all of the lights in Ponyville. "Believe me now?" I asked, exasperated. She looked at me angrily for a second before I said, "Oh, right, hold on." I did it again, and this time all the lights came on. A few ponies were stumbling out of their houses due to how weird their lights were working, and when they saw me, they looked terrified. I felt a bit sad, but they obviously couldn't see my face. "So, can you make the portal or not? Because right now my school is in danger." "Your school? How old are you?" "Look, no offense, but I keep this mask on to protect my identity, so I can't tell you that." But I was cut off halfway as I felt my mask fly off my face. "Hey!" I yelled at the top of my lungs at the Rainbow Pegasus that had taken my mask. I covered my face and nobody saw it except for Twilight, who was staring at me. "Rainbow Dash, give me my mask!" She stopped in midair and looked at me and saw my face. "You know my name? But you're an alien." I jumped at her and grabbed my mask. I put it back on and said to her, I could say the same to all of you. "Are you going to tell us what we want to know, or do we need to take your mask again?" Twilight asked. "You take my mask and I permanently short-circuit your lights, but fine." I sighed deeply and said, might as well burn all of the citizens so I don't have to repeat my answers multiple times. Soon enough, all of the citizens were looking at me and badgering me with questions. "Everyone shut up!" I yelled, and silence followed. "Good. Now if you have a question, raise your hoof." Everyone raised their hoof, and I said, "Okay, Pinkie Pie, you first." "Where did you come from?" she asked excitedly, and about half of the crowd lowered their hooves. "I come from Medicine Hat, Canada, planet Earth, and in the Milky Way galaxy." I looked at everyone and said, "I'm assuming I'm in a different galaxy then?" "No, actually," said Twilight. "Okay, next question. Scoodly, go ahead. How do you know all our names? Let's just say our planet has known about you for 7 or 8 years now. Suddenly, Fluttershy raised her hoof to my amazement. I said, go ahead to her, and she asked, if you knew about us, then why didn't you come meet us sooner? Well, this is where things start getting extremely complicated. You see, on our planet, you're fictional characters. Everyone looked at me and Applejack said, come again? It's true. On my planet, you're all characters in a TV show. Everyone stared at me as if I was crazy. They then turned to Pinkie Pie, who also seemed slightly stunned. I asked her, I thought you of all ponies would know this, seeing as how you break the fourth wall all the time. She then said, I just see the cameras and the words that the author are typing right now. I had no idea that they were actually recording us. Author? I asked her. Well, yeah, he's typing up everything we're doing and posting it on FanFiction. I facepalm. So there's a human that's making this public in the human world. Exactly what I need. More publicity. She then asked me, I thought superheroes would have liked more publicity, especially with your feelings toward... I put my hand over her mouth to shut her up. You really don't need to say that, do you? I don't like it because, as you probably already know, in my world I'm a geek. I looked at her a little mad, but she knew I wasn't threatening her. She nodded and I removed my hand from her mouth. Soon enough I was back on the stage and waited for someone else to ask a question, but no one did. I then sighed and said, I guess I'll explain what happened before I got sent here. See, I was at my school and we suddenly got an earthquake or whatever you call them here. I was saving people and put them outside with the rest of the class. I changed back into my street clothes and joined them. Suddenly a portal opened up and I got sucked here. I put on my costume and I came here. Suddenly Fluttershy raised her hoof again to my amazement. Yes, Fluttershy? She turned red at the sudden attention she got from everyone. What, if you're a human, why do you wear a mask? I facepalmed myself and answered, so I can keep my identity a secret. Also, this costume keeps my powers in check. If I don't wear this at least once a day, then the electricity will build up and I'll release discharges at random times. Suddenly, Rarity raised her hoof. Yes? But why the design, darling? It's so dark and scary. Hey, I designed and sewn this myself. But the reason it's like this is because I wanted a Batman approach. Twilight suddenly asked, who's Batman? Long story. Let's just say I wear this to scare criminals and make them think twice before they commit a crime. There was a long silence. Well, if that's all the questions, then I better go. It's getting late and I'm tired, I said as I looked at the darkening sky. I then started to walk off the stage before I remembered something. Hold on, may I talk to Rainbow Dash, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Twilight for a moment? The four that I called looked at each other for a moment before they came with me to a private room. What did you need? I wanted to give you some advice that I think could help you. Rainbow looked angry for a second. Hey, if you're going to say to leave you alone or threaten us, then you got another thing coming, she poked me in the chest angrily. I sighed and said, it's nothing like that. I wanted to give you advice about how to make what you're best at even better. They stared at me. I then started saying, Rainbow, you know how you keep your wings completely straight when you fly? I drew a lowercase t to show them what I meant. Yeah? She asked, still slightly suspicious. Well, if you curve your wings so that they're closer to your body, then they won't have so much air resistance. Here, I'll show you. I leaned forwards before Rainbow jumped back. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to show you what I mean. I comfort. I'm not letting some dude who can't even trust us with his name and face touch my wings. I sighed. Fine. I pulled my hood off and took some glasses out of my pocket. They saw that I had blue hair that was fading at the sides. Rainbow still looked apprehensive, but a little less. You look like Devin, she said to me. Devin Exion? Okay, that's something I'll have to ask later. Well, my name is Damien Shaman. I'm 15 and I've had these powers for a few years. I put my mask in my pocket where my glasses weren't used to be, and I asked her, "Now may I show you?" She looked a bit apprehensive before she fine, just don't shock me. Don't worry, that's why I wear the gloves. I knelt down beside her wings. I bent them back so that they looked like jet wings. I then got back up and said, "There, try flying like that." She got up and then started flying around. She was at least 30% faster than I usually see her. She landed beside her friends and gave me a half smile. "Thanks, this feels much faster now." "Yeah, maybe if you practice hard enough you can break through a second barrier," I laughed. "Ooh, what about me?" Pinky asked. "For better parties, I have 3 rules. More guests, louder music, and better food. Oh, also," I took my backpack up and looked around my food. I then spotted a bottle that I had taken from my parents' cabinet. I take this with me just in case I ever wanted to drown my sorrows or celebrate. Here, put a bit of this in every drink, and by the end of the night, everyone who had a drink will have the time of their lives. I handed her the bottle. "What is it?" she asked excitedly. "It's called vodka. It's really strong, so only a few drops should do the trick." "Okay, I'm off to plan a party right now." Twilight, Rainbow, and Applejack looked at me as Pinky dashed out the door. "What have you done?" Twilight asked me. "Made our parties better. You're gonna have headaches the next morning, but it's gonna be worth it." And wait, Twilight. "What? My magic is already really good." "Yes, but it's not perfect. For this, I would suggest taking Rainbow with you. I would say make a ranking ladder on how resistant to magic each creature is, and you would gradually go up the ladder while practicing on each creature. After you finish the ladder with one particular spell, you would go back to the bottom again with a different spell, and this continues over and over until you finish all of them." Twilight looked at me like I was crazy. "Come on, just give it a try, alright?" I asked. She nodded after a little bit, and I finally turned to Applejack. "What's your advice to me?" "I'm gonna teach you how to buck multiple trees with one hit." I then started explaining about aura and how you can channel it into a specific area of your body, making it stronger. I then gave an example and punched the wall. It creates a large indentation. "Yeah, sorry about that." I shake my hand to clear the aura back into the rest of my body. I then show her how to do it, and she practices. "I think that's everything. See you girls later," I say happily as I take my glasses off and put my mask back on before I leave the room.